Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week Wisdom and Legacy Building podcast. This is day 943 of our trek, and it is time for our Philosophy Friday series. Each Friday, we will ponder some of the basic truths and mysteries of life and how they can impact us in creating our living legacy. As we continue on this trek called life, sometimes we have questions about life. So our Friday trek is a time where we can ask Gramps. And Gramps will answer your questions that you would like to ask your dad or granddad, but for whatever reason, this is not possible. No matter how old we are, I know that all of us would like the opportunity to ask Dad or Gramps questions about life in many areas. Today is the 6th episode in a new series delving into what makes each of us respond to life situations as we do. Understanding ourselves and how others may interpret life through their paradigm will allow us to interact with each other with more love and compassion. This is utilizing a profound tool called the Enneagram. If you've missed any of our past 5 Friday series, I would recommend going back and listening to them and reading the wisdom journals. As a review, the tool that we refer to as the Enneagram is a circle with 9 interconnected points, Ennea referring to 9 and gram referring to a drawing. Check out today's and the prior week's wisdom journals for a representation of it. I have also included in today's wisdom journal a copy of the Enneagram at a Glance, which was compiled by Suzanne H. Eller. If you'd like a PDF copy of it, click on the link in today's wisdom journal, which is located on our website at wisdom-trek.com. I would also recommend a recently released book called The Road Back to You, written by Ian Morgan-Cron and Suzanne Stabile. It is an excellent book about the Enneagram journey to self-discovery. When I discovered the depth of the Enneagram, it opened up a new horizon for understanding myself first and also to help me to understand others better. The Enneagram is one of the most powerful tools of this type that I have encountered for personal growth. We are exploring this tool in detail. I would recommend also reading the wisdom journals for each Friday and seeing the diagrams that I'll be presenting each week. If you do have any questions or would like additional resources, please send me a message from the Wisdom Journal page and I will reply to you. As helpful as the Enneagram is, keep in mind, though, it is still only a tool and cannot replace nor usurp the precepts that are found in God's Word. All the decisions and actions that we make in life must be in harmony with God's precepts. So the question for the next several weeks or months will be, Hey Gramps, why do people act or react to situations and circumstances in life so differently? How can I gain wisdom to better understand myself and others so that I can love, serve, and minister to them on a deeper level? And today we'll focus on the Enneagram system, directions for integration, which means growth, and disintegration, which means stress. We saw in last Friday's podcast and journal the levels of development, realizing that the 9 personality types within the Enneagram are not static categories. They reflect our change over time. Further, the sequence of the types and the arrangements of the inner lines of the symbol are not arbitrary. The inner lines of the Enneagram connect the types in sequence that denotes what each type will do under different conditions or circumstances. There are 2 lines connected to each type. They connect with 2 other types. One line connects with a type that represents how a person of the first type behaves when they are moving toward health and growth. This is called the direction of integration or growth. The other line goes to another type that represents how a person is likely to act out when they are under stress or pressure, when they feel that they are not in control of the situation. This second line is called the direction of stress or disintegration. In other words, different situations will evoke different kinds of responses based on your type of personality. You will respond or adapt to these different directions as indicated by the lines on the Enneagram for your basic type. Again, this shows us the flexibility and the dynamic of the Enneagram. First, let's look at the direction of disintegration or stress for each type that is indicated by a sequence of numbers. Those numbers are 1 points to 4, 4 points to 2, 2 points to 8, 8 points to 5, 5 points to 7, and 7 points to 1. This means that an average or unhealthy person who's a 1 under stress will eventually behave like an average or unhealthy 4. An unhealthy 4 will act out their stress like an average or unhealthy 2. The average or unhealthy 2 will act out their stress like an 8. An 8 will act out their stress like a 5. A 5 will act out like a 7, and a 7 will act out like a 1. Likewise, on the equilateral triangle, the sequences is 9 to 6, from 6 to 3, from 3 to 9. A stressed out 9 will act out like a 6. A stressed out 6 will act out like a 3. And a stressed out 3 will act out like a 9. Now you can see how this works by following the directions of the arrows on the Enneagram found in today's Wisdom Journal, located at wisdom-trek.com/day-943. Next, let's look at the direction of integration or growth, which is indicated by each type by the reverse of the sequence of disintegration. Each type moves toward integration in the direction that is opposite of their unhealthy direction. Thus, the sequence of direction for integration is 1 to 7, 7 goes to 5, 5 goes to 8, 8 goes to 2, 2 goes to 4, and 4 goes to 1. An integrating 1 will point to a 7. An integrating 7 goes to a 5. An integrating 5 goes to an 8. An integrating 8 will go to a 2. An integrating 2 goes to a 4. An integrating 4 goes to a 1. Now on the equilateral triangle, the sequence is 9 goes to 3, 3 goes to 6, 6 goes to 9. So an integrating 9 in a growth stage will go to 3. An integrating 3 will go to 6. And integrating 6 will go to 9. You can see how this works from the following the directions of the arrows on the Enneagram that is found in today's Wisdom Journal, located at wisdom-trek.com/day-943. No matter what personality type that you are, the types of both of your directions of integration or growth and your direction of disintegration or stress are important influences on how you'll react to certain situations. To obtain a complete picture of yourself, or of someone else, you must take into consider the basic types and wings as well as the two types in the directions of integration and disintegration. The factors represented by these 4 types blend into your total personality and provide a framework of understanding the influences that are operating within you. For example, no one is simply a personality type 2. A 2 will usually have either a 1-wing or a 3-wing, and the 2's directions of disintegration is an 8, and the direction of integration or growth is a 4, and these also play important parts in your overall personality. Ultimately, the goal is for each of us is to move around the Enneagram, integrating what each type symbolizes by acquiring healthy potentials of all the types. The ideal is to become a balanced, fully functioning godly person who can draw on the power, or from the Latin virtue, of each of the types as needed. Each of the types within the Enneagram symbolizes a different important aspect of what we need to achieve in this end. The personality type that we begin life with is, therefore, less important ultimately than how well or badly we use our types as the beginning point for our self-development and self-realization. If we focus on the strong points, it will allow us to become more compassionate, kind, and loving to others and to ourselves. This is how we become bearers of God's image. Luke chapter 6, verse 36. You must be compassionate, just as your Father is compassionate. Well, that's enough to cover for today's Enneagram lesson. Join us again next Friday as we will explore further the Enneagram on our Ask Gramps episode. We will specifically explore the 3 instincts of our core personality. The information that we will explore will allow you to unlock who you are as we travel on this trek called life, and as we discover more about ourselves and about others, and as we impact God's kingdom. I know that you'll find these insights interesting, practical, and profitable in living that rich and satisfying life. Our next trek is Meditation Monday, where we will help you to reflect on what is most important in life. So encourage your friends and family to join us, and then come along with us on Monday for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past 943 daily treks or read the associated journals, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. I encourage you to subscribe to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. We'll see you on Monday.